The question is in tough economic times why we took the raise. And I don't think it's fair to call it a raise per se. It was a cost of living increase, and it was something that the school, that's what you could wish. But all city employees, and the city councils and school committee members are city employees, annually get a cost of living increase. I don't think it's egregious. As someone who raises a family, it's an opportunity to continue to do this job. It is a 24-hour-a-day job. I go into City Hall at 6:30 in the morning. I often do not leave until 8 o'clock at night. And so I certainly I don't disagree.
I'll say clearly, first of all, there was not a vote on the raise. The history here is important. Whether you like it or not, it's important. The history is that 10 years ago, City Council was in a place where they actually had to vote every 4 or 5 years whether or not to increase their salary. And when they did, sometimes there would be these huge increases. People are very uncomfortable about having to decide their salaries. It was tied to the cost of living. That's how people, and so it's tied to also what the city employees get. It's not a raise, it is a cost of living. As far as the aides go, I will say that I feel very confident that my assistant plays an important role in making sure that I can communicate to far more many constituents, far much more constituent work than without him.
As in past raises, I donate most of it to charity. And I'm more fortunate than some of my colleagues to be able to do that. It is, when people will get elected, they'll find out the definition of full-time is wrong. It is a full-time job, and other people, we will want diversity on the city council, and to do that, you have to have a paid position so that all sectors of the society are represented in the city council. And I'm very proud of the work that all the aides do at City Hall, especially for constituent services. We deal on a daily basis with people in crisis, with housing, employment, educational matters, and they are able to go get direct services to those constituents.
For me, city council work is full-time. Full-time without a doubt, and I would venture to say for most of my colleagues, all of my colleagues, it's actually full-time. So I will stand by that. And as far in terms of our form of government, the Plan E, it is absolutely the best plan of government for Cambridge citizens. And I stand by that because if we were to have a elected mayor in the position, then you're subject to political patronage. And you can see that as far as Boston and all other places as well.
Samson. I voted against the raise. The raise passed anyway. I have not accepted the raise. I'm not receiving the raise now. I keep my council aide at under 20 hours a week. That means she is not eligible for health benefits. That's saving you a lot of money. She is doing more than her time in the many programs that we're working on, including middle school, after school programming, some urban planning work on Massachusetts Avenue, and a whole host of other things that she is giving you value for that time.
Thank you.
Be my sweetest self. I don't, I'm not defensive about the fact that I'm paid $70,000 a year. I'm a Harvard graduate, and average Harvard graduates, of which I am not one, make $150,000 a year. So I kind of don't get this issue. I work very hard. I deliver things for the people who elected me. I created a program where people under 35 who don't have work can get work with the city and get job training. The council voted $500,000 for this purpose. That was my idea. So you are getting value for money, and it's not much money.
The comments of some of my colleagues had said that this was not a vote of the council. This was an ordinance change 10 years ago. The salary of the council is set by ordinance. I support the ordinance. I don't think the council should be voting increases for themselves, and I think this was a good policy change 10 years ago that was made. As far as the aides go, I would tell you that initially I did not support the creation of the aides. I held off for the first 3 years of not hiring an aide. I have hired a part-time aide because I chair more committees than any councilor, and that's the reason that I did that.
Henrietta, the issue of the assistants. For a number of years, we tried to find a way to get assistants who weren't attached to individual people. The idea was maybe we could have a pool. Maybe they could be attached to a committee. There never was a way of coming to agreement around that was fair. I really feel having an assistant means, I have to go really fast,
It's really for you. That's really what it's for. And so when you call, you'll get an answer back. When you email, you'll get an answer back. Still not perfect, but it's so you get service. That's really what it's for.
I didn't take the pay raise. I didn't take a council aid. I don't think that they are warranted for this position. And I tell you, as a public school parent, when we're cutting Spanish in our school, it's really difficult to look people in the eye and say that they're getting the money's worth from the council at that point. So, I would ditch those two programs if I could. Thank you.